The Pokemon anime has been running for 2.5 decades now, with over 20 seasons of Pokemon and over 1,000 episodes, making it one of the longest running anime ever. Throughout its history, we've witnessed Ash make numerous friends, catch tons of Pokemon, compete in exhilarating battles, and embark on many adventures. Ash Ketchum as the main protagonist is an icon of the show and one of the most recognizable anime characters that we have, and after just over 25 years, he's finally left the Pokemon anime. Aim to be mid, aim to be a Pokemon master, was Ash Ketchum's final send-off that left so many of us heartbroken. But with Ash's departure, what's the future of the Pokemon anime looking like? Well, we now have two new main protagonists, Liko and Roy, that star in Pokemon Horizons. The show is off to a fantastic start, but in today's video, let's look beyond Pokemon Horizons in the main series. With Ash gone, Pokemon has more freedom than ever before to explore new routes and avenues for the anime. So in today's video, we'll be taking a look at how the Pokemon anime could now potentially expand and ascend to greater heights than it's ever known by revisiting its success from the past and learning from another certain franchise. The door of opportunity is wide open for the Pokemon anime, so let's see what possibilities they could now explore in the coming years. Let's get started. Pokemon as an anime doesn't just comprise itself of the main anime alone. It's also made up of its special movies for each season, the alternate universe movies such as The Power of Us, and more importantly, its special side series. Multiple side series have been released over the course of the anime's history. These include Pokemon Origins, Pokemon Generations, Pokemon Evolution, Pokemon Hisui and Snow, Poketoons, if you want to count that, the Pokemon Mega Evolution Specials, Pokemon Twilight Wings, and the original side series, Pokemon Chronicles. What makes these series so important and so beloved by the majority of the fanbase is that each series brings to life and puts emphasis on different aspects of the Pokemon games. Pokemon Generations and Pokemon Evolution excel in this regard by animating iconic game moments such as the Unova gym leaders assembling against Team Plasma, or the encounter between Cyrus and Giratina at Spear Pillar, or even putting emphasis on new game characters such as Zinnia and Pokemon Evolutions, or older ones like the Kimono Girls from Johto. Pokemon Twilight Wings puts more personality into Galar-based characters like Nessa and Bee, while Pokemon Origins is a fantastic visual piece retelling the events of Gen 1 while adding in Mega Evolution from Gen 6 to add more flair to the story, and it even adds more tension between Red and Giovanni. But the truly best side series have to be the Pokemon Mega Evolution Specials and the OG Pokemon Chronicles. The Pokemon Mega Evolution Specials were the first specials to cross over with the main series anime, as it focused on a new character named Elan and his quest to become the strongest Mega Evolution trainer under the misguidance of Lysander. He would then cross paths with Ash during his Kalos journey later into the series, something that was completely unprecedented for the anime to execute. But this became one of the large reasons so many fans loved the XY anime so much, myself included. It added so much depth and substance and tension to the already increasingly awesome XY series. Now, Pokemon Chronicles was definitely ahead of its time, as this series would debut during the tail end of the original series in 2002 and air through a good portion of the Hoenn anime until 2004. Pokemon Chronicles to this day is one of the most beloved pieces of the Pokemon anime by a wide majority of Pokemon fans. This side series follows the events not of Ash Ketchum, I know, shocking, but rather follows the events of Ash's friends after they no longer travel with him. This series consisted of 22 episodes that gave much needed focus to other characters like Misty, Tracy, Casey, even the Pokemon themselves get their own focused episodes. This series gives the proper dedication to aspects of characters that we already love about them. More focus is given to Casey and the Electabuzz, Brock defending the gym and his family relations, Misty and her gym and relationships with her sisters, even the hilarious Pichu Bros get focus on their shenanigans, and there is a winter special dedicated to Pikachu and company. This series even gives justice to the legendary beast Raikou. The legendary beasts Suicune and Entei famously got their own dedicated movies in Pokemon Forever and Spell of the Unknown respectively, while Raikou seemingly got left in the shadows. However, Pokemon Chronicles would rectify this by giving Raikou its own dedicated movie, at least in Japan, known as Raikou Izukuchi no Densetsu. Translated into English, this title becomes Raikou, Legend of Thunder, which simply becomes The Legend of Thunder in the West. The Legend of Thunder would kickstart Pokemon Chronicles in a very positive way, as in the West, this special movie was released as a 3-part special, and this special was incredible and beloved by many fans. Now, why am I saying all this? Well, it's important to understand the success of these spin-offs and side series in order to properly understand how they alone can set up the success of the future of the Pokemon anime. Pokemon's side series were clearly successful in the past and are greatly beloved by the fans. But Pokemon isn't the only franchise to see great success by creating side series along its mainline productions. The Marvel franchise is probably the most prominent and prime example of how successful side series can be when executed properly. Marvel Studios is currently working on productions for Phases 5 and 6, with many of the productions in Phase 5 consisting of brand new Disney Plus shows such as Secret Invasion, Loki Season 2, and Daredevil Reborn. Marvel first began creating Disney Plus shows in Phase 4 after the conclusion of the events of Avengers Endgame, giving us shows centered on fan favorites such as Hawkeye, Loki, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Why are Marvel Studios' shows so successful? Well, it's because just like the Pokemon anime, they, over many years, developed their characters through story and growth, and the audience came to love them. Now, being the popular franchise and multi-million-dollar franchise that it is, any Marvel fan is usually on board with the projects that Kevin Feige rolls out. He started with a core group of characters being the Avengers that most people already knew and loved. From there, he expanded to characters like the Guardians of the Galaxy and Spider-Man. He continued intertwining all these characters, and now they have the means, resources, and money to create tons of new shows to explore many new stories in the ever-expanding Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, what does this have to do with Pokemon, you may be wondering? The big idea here is that this is what Pokemon as a franchise needs to do next for the anime. Make more side series focused on specific characters and continue their stories, or even make certain series be prequels similar to Marvel's Black Widow film from 2021. I've been on Twitter long enough to have seen that there is love for every single Pokemon character, and certain characters have amassed a large group of fans that deeply adore them, such as Alon, Serena, Dawn, or May. Having side series that continue the stories of our favorite characters the way Pokemon Chronicles did, but on a larger scale, has the potential to draw in so many viewers for the anime, whether it's bringing back in older fans, keeping current fans around, and drawing in tons of new viewers. And I have quite a few ideas for side series that Pokemon could create. If Pokemon is going to pursue this avenue for the anime, it's best that they begin with shows centered on some of the anime's most popular and beloved characters, such as Alon, Serena, Clement, or Dawn. When Marvel started launching Disney Plus shows in Phase 4, they began with characters already largely tied to the main story of the Infinity Saga: Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Hawkeye. These characters are not only fan favorites, but have stories that can directly continue after the events of Avengers Endgame and Infinity Saga as a whole. Please take a look at the potential projects that Pokemon could pursue if they follow in Marvel's footsteps. What you just saw were some of my personal ideas that Pokemon could create whether or not the mainline anime continues or not. Projects like this have the potential to draw in fans old and new alike and explore storylines that otherwise may only exist as fan fiction. Alon and Charizard Beyond Evolution can explore how Alon was able to achieve Mega Evolution with his Charizard once again after the events of the Team Flare arc from X and Y. At the conclusion of the XY anime, Alon decides to work with Marin and Professor Sycamore again and says he'll master Mega Evolution by starting from scratch and doing it his own way. He was shown to have been successful in that endeavor during his battle with Leon in the Masters 8 tournament as he Mega Evolved Charizard once again. So this project could showcase his Mega Evolution journey after X and Y and how he caught Chestnut and Malamar as well. Paul, Victory Road could focus on Paul's journey after the Sinnoh League and how he became so strong that he was asked to become a gym leader. We can see where he's traveled, who he's met, and if he ever challenged Cynthia to another battle. This series could also show us Paul challenging Brandon again with a stronger team and more skill as well. With Paul being such a beloved character, I know this series would perform exceptionally well. Sawyer, Path to Steven, could feature the journey that Sawyer embarks on after the events of XY. In the conclusion of XY, we see Sawyer taking notes with Steven Stone, but we all know Sawyer's goal is to battle him and surpass him one day. Sawyer could even catch some new Pokemon along the way, and we can see new areas of Hoenn as well. We could witness Sawyer challenge the Hoenn Elite Four, allowing characters like Phoebe and Glacia to make a debut and witness Sawyer's triumph over Steven. Each of these series has an immense amount of potential for success and is an avenue that the Pokemon Company should 100% pursue, and there's more possibilities outside of the titles I mentioned today. Shows can be created focusing on Iris and how she became the Unova champion or what she's doing after the Masters 8 tournament. Maybe a show can be created focusing on Brock and how he became a Pokemon doctor and what he's been doing as well. Even the stories of other characters like Silent, Misty, Tracy, and Harrison can be explored. Separate series could even focus on the various champions of the Pokemon world, either detailing how they became champion, what they were doing while Ash was traveling through their respective regions, or what they all did after the Masters 8 tournament, and I'm sure we'd all love series dedicated to Cynthia and Leon. The Pokemon Company has a golden opportunity here to expand itself in terms of the anime, grow its audience even more, and tell more exciting new stories that the main anime doesn't get to explore. And it'd be great to see whether it's a more detailed style like Generations and Evolution, or if it just uses the same art style as the current anime. I think I can speak for a large majority of us when I say that producing all of these side series and more would be an outstanding choice for the Pokemon Company. What did you think? The Pokemon anime has been airing for a long time now, and while side series have been successful in the past, they don't last too long, except in the case of Pokemon Chronicles. It's time for the Pokemon anime to expand itself beyond just Ash Ketchum's journey and follow the example of Marvel's Phases 4 and 5 by introducing brand new side series and exploring the stories and lives of all Pokemon characters. But which side series would you look forward to or enjoy the most? Leave all your thoughts down below, and until next time, train hard, and I'll catch you guys later.